let's just get into it.
Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, people of the internet? As you can see, I'm still recovering from the football today. But I wanted to still do a review of what's happened this weekend and then do a little bit of a preview for the week. Unfortunately, it's the international break, so it's getting a little bit sparse for the next 2 weeks. But that gives me opportunity to do the other videos that I wanted to do. So anyway, before I get into that, let's get into the weekend's football. So starting with Chelsea against Palace, they won 4-0. I don't think it was ever in any doubt that Chelsea were going to win, but still pretty convincing for against a side that has looked quite good in recent weeks. Everton 4, Brighton 2. Everton are just going from strength to strength, really. I mean, their best start in a league campaign since the 1800s. They're just free scoring. I can't see anyone stopping them. The true test will be the Merseyside derby 2 weeks from this weekend. But I think the way that Liverpool played, and we'll get to that in a minute, they could have a good chance if they play the way that they have been playing under Carlo Ancelotti. Leeds 1, City 1. So this is another one where you don't expect it to happen. City, on paper, should have blown them away. But after everything they've been through recently, where even though they beat Burnley in the Cup, they lost to Leicester last week, City are looking a little bit shaky. Leeds just keep going from strength to strength, and I think they're going to be the team that Sheffield United was last season, and could very well qualify for Europe if they continue. Speaking of Burnley, they played Newcastle and lost 3-1. Not quite sure what's happening at Turf Moor at the moment. They are usually defensively solid, but perhaps they're having a repeat of last season where it took a while for the wheels to turn and to click in before they were finally able to gel together as a team. It'll be interesting to see, but again, they don't really have the best attack. Barnes and Woods aren't bad, but they're not great. So we'll see how they go. I don't think they're in any danger of being relegated per se, but definitely not doing as well as they did last season. So on to Sunday's matches. We have Leicester losing 3-0 to West Ham. West Ham didn't even have their manager in attendance because he was self-isolating due to concerns of the pandemic. And they just blew Leicester out of the water. Leicester didn't even have a shot. This is the team that beat City 5-2 last week, and are just free-flowing and on fire. And West Ham just absolutely embarrassed them. So West Ham definitely a team to watch if they can muster it up on their day. So Southampton beat West Brom 2-0. Nothing too exciting to report from this one. It was pretty much decided that was probably going to be the case. The Premier League stalwarts just against the team that's just been promoted. It was pretty self-evident that was going to happen. Arsenal 2, Sheffield United 1. It seems like Arsenal deserved to win this game. Sheffield United didn't play as badly as they have done. I mean, to say that they've been playing badly is a little bit harsh. They haven't necessarily been playing badly. They just haven't been playing to the level that they were last season. And this match proved that. So they'll probably get better, but I don't think they're going to be as close to what they were last season. On to the next one, Wolves against Fulham. Two teams that have been struggling in recent weeks, and Wolves sort of cut the flow there and got the 1-0 win. Fulham still just looking a little bit dicey. So we'll see what they can do, but they're just not looking good at the moment. On to the next one. The reason why I have this. Manchester United won, Spurs 6. Manchester United started off well with a goal, and then the floodgates opened. One thing I would like to say is, in regards to the Anthony Martial red card, if he got red carded, where was Lamella's red card? I agree with, I think it was Lee Dixon, said that at most it should have been a yellow for both teams, for both players, but it wouldn't have made a difference. It's just, it made the difference in the fact that we lost 6-1 instead of 3-1, but we just played abhorrently. As soon as that second goal went in, it was over. It was over before it had even started. And the trouble is that with the culture that's at the team at the minute, and not the manager, it comes from the board. It comes from the board and Ed Woodward and the way that they're running the team, the owners, downwards. Because there are some people that are trying really hard at that club. Bobby Charlton, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, and even some of the players week in, week out are trying. They just can't cut it, and something needs to change. And unfortunately, it's not going to change overnight. And the answer isn't to get rid of the manager. It isn't to sack all the players. Something wholesale needs to change. But that's a video for another day. I will touch on that in another one of the videos that I want to record. So, on to the only saving grace for the day today. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2. At Anfield, the first time that Liverpool have conceded 7 goals since Sunderland in the 60s. The first time a champion has conceded 7 since Arsenal in the 50s. Aston Villa were just on fire. It should have been 8, it could have been 10. Adrian looked woeful. Van Dijk, Robertson, Gomez looked shadows of their former selves. Roberto Firmino was non-existent. Salah was trying, but he was just running around like a headless chicken. They didn't have any solid base until James Milner came on, which says a lot for that midfield. Now, obviously, this is a one-off, and they won the league for a reason last season. But it shows the other teams in the league that they're vulnerable. And the fact that they've got Everton next, if Everton can take that knife and open the wound even further, could spell trouble for that Liverpool side. So, interesting result. It could set up an interesting line of dominoes. We'll see what happens after that. So, a couple of other results from around the grounds. Inter Milan won, Lazio won. Seemed like it was a bit of a tense game. There were red cards for both sides. Lautaro Martinez scoring again. Lyon won, Marseille won. Don't know much about it, I just saw the result. It's the result that everyone expected, really. Juventus versus Napoli was postponed due to the authorities in Naples suggesting that the team shouldn't travel. So interesting there, not quite sure what that entails, but interesting developments there to say the least. Another match I wanted to mention, and to my shame I didn't write the team down that they were playing, but Bayern Munich 4-3 winners, Lewandowski scoring all 4 goals, and he scored the 4th goal in stoppage time. Sounds like a very good game, and I can't wait to watch the highlights for those. But Lewandowski just going from strength to strength to strength to strength. He really is. He's just prolific at the moment. So onto a couple of games that I want to mention for the week. It's mostly friendlies. The Nations League does start, but there's no sort of juicy matches in that until next week, and even then. Couple of the friendlies, Portugal against Spain, always a good contest. Spain will be wanting to get revenge on Portugal for what they did in the World Cup, for taking the 3 points away from them. Netherlands versus Mexico, I put down because two very interesting teams and could be a very good game. I know it's only a friendly, but they'll want to be showcasing some of their players. And the likes of Lozano, Depay will want to show off to Barcelona if his signing goes through. De Jong, Van de Beek. Mexico's got Raúl Jiménez. It could see that being a very interesting contest. Thursday, England versus Wales. Not the most prolific of games, but at the same time, two rivals. Not as big a rivalry as Scotland, but still, it's a rivalry. So, yeah, unfortunately, the international break. This is that time of year that we all love. But like I said, this is going to allow me to do a couple of other videos that I want to do, such as the Champions League draw. So I'll be doing that later on in the week. And then perhaps a video about the transfer roundup as well, because the transfer window is closing soon. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to go and finish this rum and coke, drown my sorrows, and hopefully by the time the international break comes back, Manchester United will have got their act together. So I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, keeping out of trouble, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.